Hey, what's up guys? So yes, this video contains endgame spoilers, so if you have not yet blessed your eyes and souls with Avengers Endgame, please click away. Right now I'm going to be talking about some speculations and theories and just kind of talking about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, what to expect, and certain characters I think will pop up and certain franchises I think will come out of this last installment of this Gunn trilogy that we're getting. Thankfully, now that James Gunn is back, I think there were a lot of unanswered questions in Endgame, specifically for the Guardians. There's a lot of things that still need to be delved into, like Gamora in the Soul World and the Gamora that is still in this universe just running around from that alternate timeline, Adam Warlock. So many things that I want to get into. It's going to be really fun to see not only Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which is going to be focused, I heard, on Rocket and his origins, but on what is actually going to come out of this third installment, which I think is just going to be pure awesomeness. So as we all know, at the end of Avengers Endgame, Thor took off with the Guardians in the Benatar. We even heard Thor say Asgardians of the Galaxy, which is not only kind of a clever spin on the Guardians name, but it's also an actual comic run that's out right now. I believe it came out in September, and I've actually read a couple issues of it, and I actually really like it. And basically, the Asgardians of the Galaxy is a mix of Asgardians and kind of Asgardian themed characters like Throg, the Thor frog, and it's pretty cool. And I've heard that there is supposedly going to be a new Guardians team that's going to take over for these original Guardians after the trilogy is over. And I heard also that Chris Hemsworth extended his Marvel contract, and I'm pretty sure with the resurgence of his interest in Thor, like after Thor Ragnarok, for a while Chris Hemsworth didn't even want to play Thor because of how he was being portrayed, and he felt like it was getting kind of boring. But after Thor Ragnarok, he really fell in love with the character, and he's been wanting to play it. And after how much everybody liked him in the last 3 movies, I can see why. And there's just so much more to do with Thor, and I think putting him out into space, not just on Asgard and not just stuck on Earth, but in space where he can really do some crazy things, that's gonna be awesome. He is the alien Viking king, and not only will this be good for Thor, but it will also actually be likely, and it makes sense to me since Valkyrie is now the queen, I guess, of New Asgard, and we also have Korg and Meek back into the picture, so it would kind of make sense to have the Asgardians of the Galaxy, which Valkyrie is a part of in the comics, but also to get Tessa Thompson's Valkyrie into the fold of things. That would be a likely scenario for her to be in the movies and use her again, because I mean, I don't really see anything else but a big Avengers team-up movie for her to actually be in. So I think that would be good. We could see more Korg and Meek, and we could also get other characters as well interjected into that. I think definitely Beta Ray Bill would work for an Asgardians of the Galaxy franchise, and I would really like to see it. I think actually there's a good chance that he could get introduced into this third Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and it's also pretty possible that Valkyrie already knows him, and we saw a little hint to Beta Ray Bill on Sakaar in Thor Ragnarok. He was on the Tower of Champions, so I'm pretty sure maybe Valkyrie will be like, hey, you know who could be a great addition to this team, and they go and meet up with Beta Ray Bill. No, I don't think Volume 3 will be called Asgardians of the Galaxy, but I do think that it will set off that franchise. I do believe from everything that I've heard, which isn't so much, but the movie is going to focus on Rocket's origin and his creator, which I heard supposedly will be played by Mark Hamill, and as well as other characters that I think are pretty likely to come out in the movie. I would want to say Nova. I think it'd be very likely to see him, and that could possibly set up a franchise for him as well. And also an unexpected, but I think totally expected character to be in that movie would be the Silver Surfer, guys. Now, I think the Silver Surfer is a character that could definitely get his own franchise, and I would love to see James Gunn's take on the Silver Surfer, and I've actually made a video about that. It's on my channel. You can check it out, how much I would absolutely love the Silver Surfer to be made by James Gunn. I mean, Silver Surfer is a huge cosmic character. James Gunn is notorious for putting the most cosmic characters and just having the most cosmic moments in the Guardians of the Galaxy franchise. He is a total nerd. So now that the movie is slated to start production in 2020 instead of 2019, like how it was supposed to start, and now that the production is going to begin post Fox and Disney deal, now that James Gunn has all these cosmic characters at his disposal, it just seems like it would be too hard for him not to use it. I would love to see the Silver Surfer, and I think it's likely that we do see him. I think we could even possibly get a mention of Galactus. I feel like these characters that are now at James Gunn's disposal, they're just way too juicy for James Gunn to say, hey, like, oh, I can use that character if I want to? Oh, no thanks. Like, I do not see James Gunn doing that. So I think that's a possibility. Now, getting more into actual Guardians of the Galaxy 3, there were a lot of questions and a lot of things things that we left off on from Volume 2 and then, you know, now with Endgame. So in Volume 2, we left off with the tease of Adam Warlock. If you guys don't know who Adam Warlock is, he's basically super high-level cosmic being in the MCU. He's made by the Sovereign, you know, Aisha, the golden chick, and he's basically, I want to say, like Thor mixed with Doctor Strange, just way more cosmic, kind of closer to, you know, a Silver Surfer power base. And Adam Warlock in the comics was a huge player in the Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity War storylines, and I know a lot of people were like upset that he wasn't in Infinity War or in Endgame, but I mean, he hasn't even been born yet, guys, so I don't know where that's coming from. And he's always been affiliated with the Guardians of the Galaxy, and he even started a team called the Infinity Watch, which after the events of Infinity Gauntlet, which consisted of Drax, Pip the Troll, Moondragon, Gamora, and even Thanos, actually. But I can't really see an Infinity Watch movie exactly happening right now because the stones in at least this universe are non-existent, and Thanos is non-existent. Even Gamora is non-existent. And the thing about Adam Warlock is that he has a very special connection to the Soul Stone. So the Soul Stone, as we all know in the MCU, is pretty crazy. I mean, it takes and it feeds on souls. You have to sacrifice a soul to even get it. Adam Warlock also has a special connection with the pocket universe that's in the Soul Stone that we got a glimpse of at the end of Infinity War, which is called the Soul World. And they haven't really delved too much into that, obviously. I really hope, and I think it makes sense for them to delve into that, because I'm pretty sure after finding out that Gamora was dead in Infinity War and then just reforming and finding out that this new Gamora doesn't even know who you are, she's from an alternate timeline, is going to be really confusing and really hard for Peter Quill to swallow, because all the worst things probably are just happening except for Thanos being dead. But now this new Gamora is on the run, they have to deal with her and with the part of Gamora's soul that was in the Soul Stone that Thanos destroyed. So I'm curious, you know, is that going to play a part, or are they just gonna take this new Gamora and just kind of pass her off as the old Gamora? If they work that angle well, I can get behind it, but I really want them to address Soul World, especially with a character like Adam Warlock. I'm really glad that Thor is gonna be in the movie, and Asgard, he really doesn't have anything to do. On Earth, he really doesn't have anything to do. I think Thor shines the most when he's in space, and I think we'll see a lot of cosmic Thor, which is the best Thor. We can see him riding around through space with Mjolnir and Stormbreaker, and Thor is thousands of years old, and he has an extensive knowledge, and I can see Thor putting a lot of context on certain situations that the Guardians could get into. Maybe there's even a time when him and Star-Lord are arguing, and Star-Lord tells him about his father, Ego, MCU Celestial, and Thor is like, kind of has a little bit more respect for him. Or maybe Thor even knows who Ego was. Ego in the comics and Thor, they go back. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it. If you liked the video, leave me a thumbs up, comment down below, and if you want, subscribe. I always appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.